In the headlines, former President Goodluck Jonathan calls for a restructuring of local government councils as APC inaugurates Presidential Campaign Council. Supreme Court settles Delta State PDP governorship tussle, affirms Sheriff Oborewori as candidate. Nigerian troops neutralize 49 terrorists in 6 weeks of military operations in Borno State. And on the foreign scene, Japan, Australia leaders sign a new security pact to counter China. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. President Muhammadu Buhari says corruption has continued to thrive in the civil service because the law and institutional mechanisms for holding public officers and civil servants accountable are not being properly enforced. He spoke on Friday at State House Abuja when he conferred the Nigeria Excellence Award in Public Service to former President Goodluck Jonathan and 43 other prominent Nigerians. Former President Jonathan was honored with the Peace Building Award, while Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike was conferred with the State Infrastructure Delivery Award. Kende Amodu reports.
This entire award ceremony is steeped in irony. The first irony is that President Buhari has deemed it fit to confer Parliamentary Excellence Awards on the Senate President Ahmad Lawan and Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, while the service chiefs and Inspector General of Police are getting special category awards. An even bigger irony is that the President is asserting at this forum that the public service is essentially affected by corruption because it is rooted in nepotism, cronyism, political patronage, as well as lack of transparency and accountability.
Public service is a public trust where officers and even employees must be accountable to the people whom they should serve at all times with uttermost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency.
Another paradox is that former President Goodluck Jonathan is receiving an award from an administration that has spent 7 years vilifying his administration. He's also adding an irony of his own, challenging the National Assembly to correct the anomaly of there being no person at the local government tier receiving an award.
We have 36 states, and out of 36 states, from the list, 16 governors are recognized this morning. Then I ask myself, out of the 774 local government chairmen, not even one is here with us. Mr. Senate President and Mr. Speaker, that shows that the National Assembly has some work to do. Probably we need to review and look at the structure and functions of the local government.
So why are these recipients being recognized?
When a government identifies you, that you have made a contribution while you are given the opportunity to serve, I can tell you this guy is really made you be very, very happy. So today is one of my happiest days in life, and that my people are happy, and that I did not disappoint my people, I did not disappoint my wife and my family, because when you're going to public office, you know what it is. People are expecting so many things. People will criticize that you have not done this, you've not done that. But I think Rivers State is one of the states that everybody, whether you like us or not, will identify that we've been able to provide basic infrastructure that will lead the economic development of the state.
The National Excellence Award in Public Service was set up to recognize distinguished public service to Nigeria, either contributions to individuals, state or local communities, or the public through excellence in leadership, service, or humanitarianism. From State House Abuja, Kende Amodu, Trust TV News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged to be at the forefront of the campaign to elect former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu as his successor. The president stated this at the unveiling of the Presidential Campaign Council and the action plan of the APC presidential candidate. He stressed that election Tinubu would consolidate the achievements of his administration, as the presidential candidate has the capacity, visionary leadership and track record to do more. Meanwhile, the APC presidential candidate said his agenda for renewed hope for Nigeria would stand on the foundation laid by the current administration, but would go further by building a Nigeria, especially for the youth, where sufficient jobs with decent wages would be created for a better life. He said his administration would export more and import less in order to earn more foreign exchange and strengthen the Naira. Tinubu also promised to provide economic opportunities to people living with disability, the poor and the vulnerable, while making basic healthcare, education and housing accessible and affordable for all.
Our candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, is too well known for his capacity and can do the simple. He stands tall in his track record as a Democrat, a champion of the rule of law, a man at home in every part of our country, and a truly visionary leader. All you need to think of Lagos in 1999 and 2022.
Achieved in Lagos, together we all can achieve it for the Nigerian throughout this great nation. Based on our unshakable faith in our people and standing on the foundation well established by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, we shall build a nation where sufficient jobs with decent wages and an enabling environment for small business owners create a better life for all and a future of promise for our youth.
Meanwhile, All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu has said raising interest rates is not the solution to rising inflation. The Central Bank of Nigeria has raised the interest rates to arrest the sharp rise in inflation, which rose in August to 20.52% from 19.64% in the previous month, the highest in 17 years. In his manifesto tagged Renewed Hope, Tinubu said the current increasing inflationary trend was caused essentially by global supply disruptions, saying addressing it is not increasing the interest rates. The better solution, Tinubu said, is to find ways to increase production and supply, noting placing this weight on the demand side will do little to answer the root cause of the current inflation. Tinubu further stated that the efficiency of monetary policy in driving overall economic goals is limited, adding that fiscal policy has numerous channels and transmission mechanisms by which it can affect the economy. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has declared Sheriff Oborevwori as the Delta State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 governorship election. The Apex Court made the pronouncement while delivering judgment in an appeal filed by a PDP gubernatorial aspirant, David Edeve, challenging the emergence of Oborevwori as the PDP candidate. The report.
The lead judgment was prepared and read by Justice Tijani Abubakar, while Justice Amina Ogi presided over a 5-man panel of Supreme Court justices. Justice Abubakar held that the Court of Appeal was right to hold that the suit of Edeve was wrongly commenced by way of originating summon rather than by writ of summons.
The 5-man judges, so to say, all, how do I put it, that all the grounds of appeal were dismissed completely and resolved in favor, of the respondent in its entirety. So invariably, Oborevwori was declared today as the winner. And no more, no legs. It was a very short judgment given by the court, and that is the finality of determination.
After the judgment, supporters of Oborevwori, who started trooping into the court premises as early as 7 a.m. on Friday, could not hold back the excitement.
It seems the celebration is ending in no time soon as supporters of Francis Sharif Oborowari are outside the Supreme Court premises still jubilating for this very judgment at the Supreme Court today. And that means that Oborowari is now the candidate that will be flagging the PDP flag in the governorship election of Delta State.
Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And Britain's King Charles III has written to President Muhammadu Buhari expressing his sympathy over the recent flooding in Nigeria. King Charles said he is deeply saddened to hear of the many people who have lost their loved ones as a consequence of the devastating floods across Nigeria. While reiterating the UK's support to Nigeria, the King said his thoughts are with those working to support the recovery efforts. Over 600 persons have died in the recent floodings in Nigeria, which also forced more than 1.3 million from their homes. And to matters of security now, where the Nigerian army says it has neutralized 49 terrorists, while 2 civilian JTF and 9 soldiers lost their lives in 6 weeks of military operations against terrorists in Borno State. It also revealed that the number of surrendered terrorists rose to 81,131, both combatant and non-combatant fighters. The theatre commander of Operation Hide and Cake, Christopher Musa, disclosed that 2 Chibok girls with twin babies were rescued by troops of the 7th Division during its operation in Bama local government area. Major General Christopher Musa said despite the challenges in the dry season, the army will ensure it sustains counter-offensive against terrorists. He stressed that the army will not deter in its mandate to restore peace and normalcy in the northeast.
Just like we did during the rainy season. You know, before now, during rainy seasons, our operations normally go down. But this time around, if you observe, during the rainy season, we maintain the tempo, continuing. And then towards now, we're going to continue. We're entering the dry season, the Harmattan season. That also we are prepared. We have taken adequate measures to ensure that we deny them ability. Most of their movements now, if you notice, is they are looking for food and acts of criminality. They try to rob individuals to get money, to get food when they go to attacks, and that's what they are doing. So we're curtailing those things together with all the other security agencies.
On the 29th of September, Yana Pogo and her 4 children, 2 boys and 2 twin girls, were rescued at Mirari village in Bama local government area by troops of 21 Special Armored Brigade Bama during a clearance patrol in the general area. If you check the list of Chibok girls, she is on serial 19. In the same vein, on the 2nd of October 2022, Rejoice Sankey with her 2 children were rescued by troops of 222 Battalion in Kauri local government area. She is on serial 70 on the adopted Chibok girls list.
And residents of Makurdi have continued to react to the formation of a new security outfit recently launched in Benue State. Some residents who spoke to Trust TV called on the state government to motivate and equip the security outfit with necessary tools to be able to fight insecurity in the state. The report.
The Benue Community Volunteer Guard is a security outfit launched in Benue State by the current administration. The residents of Makurdi said it is a good idea, but a lot must be done to achieve the set goal. They called on the state government to train and provide a security outfit with all the necessary tools to take on the task ahead of them.
They will help some situation in terms of security aspect. Because if you look at these people, from the day of selection, how they are being selected from these our 23 local government axes, you know that when if you want to talk of security as a body, security lies on the local government level. These people are the ones who know the problem, the fundamental problem of the grassroots. And since they are from these 23 axes, these are where our security lies. Security is not coming to the state capital like Makurdi alone.
Others feel that the personnel should be deployed to crisis zones to mitigate the security challenges bedeviling in the state. They say rather than stationing the security guards in the state capital, they should be positioned in strategic communities prone to attacks.
Not
to be parading their actions in town. In some other ways, harassing persons, or in the name of community volunteer guard. At least our people are there, especially, let me cite an instance of Guma local government, where people are being killed, molested by the herdsmen. It is expected that these people, as they were inaugurated, they were supposed to be fully supported. I don't want to say that they were supposed to be fully armed, so that they will assist our local communities to at least face these herdsmen who are attacking our people, killing them day in, day out.
Community volunteer guard is a welcome development. We want it, and how we want it, we need more of them. We need state government to recruit more. Like there should be a payment, because you cannot go there with empty stomach. Equip them, empower them financially, give them more support. That will encourage them to do the work. Without pay, they will not do the work. So,
with a ban on operations of vigilante groups, the state governor Samuel Otom launched the first batch of the guards in August 2022, with a second batch in October. The mandate of the Benue Community Volunteer Guards is to complement the regular security teams in the state.
A civil society organization in Maiduguri has said federal government can completely tackle insecurity if community policing across the country is empowered. The civil society made this known during a training workshop organized for security volunteers to complement the security system across the country. Kurutsi Petrus reports that the civil society also stressed the need for coming up with an action plan to curb crime and political crisis ahead of the 2023 elections. The report.
As the saying goes, security is everyone's business. According to the Peace Ambassadors Center for Humanitarian Aid and Empowerment, coming up with an action plan to enhance the capacity of paramilitary agencies such as the Civilian Joint Task Force, Vigilante, Hunters, among others, for effective community policing and security in Borno State is paramount. Today's platform detailed the code of conduct for voluntary policing groups while discharging its roles and responsibilities with high sense of integrity and observance of the principles of human rights that will build cooperation and support, thereby complementing security agencies' efforts in communities across the state.
I think empowerment of the community policing is very important, because you cannot bring somebody that do not know the trend and then the culture and then the religion and even the context of that community to provide the security. And most of the crimes are committed in the community. So I think we need to look at the issue of community policing properly, not in the context that will allow politicians or other government structures to abuse the system, but empowering the communities to see that how they can protect their communities better.
Some participants described the training as timely, saying it will guide them towards curtailing crime and provide effective security service delivery before and after the 2023 elections.
Yes, this training educates us that we are neutral party in terms of election, whether you are APC, PDP, or whatever. We are there to protect the life and property, and we are there to protect the citizens to conduct their election successfully. Whatever the case, you are arrested, you will forward to various security agencies to do their work.
Formerly, we are not together with the civilian detail contest. We are on our own. Now, does BBS bring us together? And now, even when we are going out per patrol, we are going to our primary duty to assist Nigerian police and other law enforcement agencies. Immediately when we arrest, we are handing over to the police, authority concerned. We don't have time to hold them. We don't have time to beat them. We are not trained for that.
It is expected that knowledge impacted will equip participants with ethics that will guide them against being victims of the law they swore to enforce.
So that's on Trust TV News Update. Still ahead, we'll bring you the story of a Sokoto community known for arts. Details of that and more after the break. Stay with us.
That's good.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's recap our top stories. Former President Jonathan calls for restructuring of local government councils as APC inaugurates Presidential Campaign Council. And Supreme Court settles Delta State PDP governorship tussle, affirmed Sheriff Oborevwori as candidate. And moving on to other news now. Governments at all levels have been charged to strengthen early childhood education and provide more play materials in schools to entice pupils to learning through play. This is against the backdrop of poor access to early childhood care development education centers by pupils in their early years in the country. Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade filed in this report from Sokoto.
Experts said stimulating learning environment with play materials helps children to grow well mentally, emotionally, and physically. This is the essence of early childhood care education development centers. But such centers are not many in most states in Nigeria. For instance, out of 2,000 primary schools in Sokoto State, only 500 have such centers. At Magaji Abdullahi Early Childhood Care Development Education Center at Shagari Town in Sokoto State, the pupils said they learn while playing. A teacher in the school, Asma'u Muhammad, said the children need to play to be healthy and they learn in the process.
Okay, in this exercise, they are learning how to climb the donkey. They will know this is donkey, and they are also learning how to ride this. Even if it's motor, we'll show them that this is how you drive motor, and this is. So with this exercise, they are also learning a lot of things.
One of the pupils, Karima Ibrahim, said she loves going to school.
Still staying with Sokoto State, it is the state that headquartered a caliphate founded by Usman Dan Fodio in 1804. And since then, it remains famous for its devotion to tradition, arts and crafts. Madunka and Karai communities within the Sokoto metropolis are largely inhabited by people who rely on arts and crafts for a living. In this report, correspondent Yusho Adamu takes a look at the positive impact of leather works on the lives of people in the two communities.
In the Madunka community, sheets of leather laying in plain sight, waiting to be processed into footwears and other products like skin bags, carpets, skin bed sheets, pillowcases, and all forms of interior decorations. Honestly, the business of leatherworks in Sokoto State has witnessed many changes. Before, we only produced few items, such as shoes and bags. But now we do many items including handbags, wallet, mats, and many interior decorations. However, inflation of prices is seriously affecting our business. Although successive governments of Sokoto State have tried their best to improve our business, leatherworks remain a source of living for many people in this area, with a value chain involving all categories of people. The young have taken over the design aspect of the business. Women are dominating the stitching part of it, and the elderly people are marketing the finished products. We process skins and come up with different designs. If a design takes some time, then we initiate a new one in order to attract customers. We design varieties of carpets, shoes, bags, cups, and anything produced from animal skins. For over 200 years, the Karaye community has been producing skins and hides suitable for leather works. The Madunka community relies on the animal skins processed by local tanners in Karaye quarters. We do special tanning for skins meant for transportation to England. In the past, we have some tanneries companies here in Sokoto like John Holt and Dikko Tanneries, who buy tanned skins and export it to England. Unfortunately, these companies have collapsed. The only one that is still functioning has relocated to Kano. We also do special tanning for exportation to Niger Republic. If you go to Ilela, you will see parcels of processed skins waiting to be transported to Niger Republic. And from there, it will be sent to Mali and Morocco and then to Europe. Although leatherworks is playing a greater role in poverty reduction and crimes, especially among youth of Madunka and Karaye communities, there is little or no assistance from relevant authorities. Yushau Adamu, Trust TV News, Sokoto.
Now for a look at the foreign scene, where Australia and Japan have agreed to share more intelligence and deepen military cooperation in what is being seen as a security pact aimed at countering China's growing military presence in the Asia-Pacific region. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida agreed on Saturday, to strengthen security ties at the annual Australian-Japan leaders meeting in the city of Perth. As part of the closer partnership, Albanese said Japan's military would train and exercise in northern Australia alongside Australian Defence Force personnel. An exchange of intelligence would be boosted between both countries. In their fourth summit since Albanese took office in May, the two leaders said the agreement will serve as a compass for security cooperation for the next decade. And European champions England will face Denmark and China at the Women's World Cup in 2023 in Australia and New Zealand. They will be joined by either Senegal, Haiti or Chile in Group D. The Lionesses will be based in Australia with group games in Brisbane, Sydney and Adelaide. The Republic of Ireland, making their tournament debut, are in Group B with co-host Australia, Olympic champions Canada and Nigeria. The Republic will also be based in Australia with group games in Sydney, Perth and Brisbane. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.